So you've tried it. I've tried it. We have all tried it. You roll over in bed, you want to listen to a podcast or some music, so you pop in your regular everyday earbuds, and for a little while it's fine. But the second you turn your head and your ears hit the pillow, it's just an instant, sharp, plasticky feeling in your ear canal. And it's painful. It's the worst. And that was the problem that this little guy right here promised to solve when it came out about a year ago. These are the Soundcore Sleep a20s. I've been using them pretty much every night since release, and this is my long-term review. By the end of this video, you'll know how they held up and who they really are for. We're gonna cover the comfort and design, but what you're really gonna wanna stick around for is the battery life and the audio quality. One of them is truly best in class, and the other, it's got a massive catch. Stick with me, and I promise by the end, we will answer the big question. After a full year, are these actually worth your money still? Because they're still retailing for $179. They usually go on sale though, so I'll give you the best price that I've found on the link in the description. So first, the hardware. And the first thing you're gonna notice is how tiny these things are. I mean, look at that. These are tiny. They're wrapped almost entirely in this soft, rubbery silicone that's made to be skin-friendly. There are no hard plastic edges designed to dig into your ear. And in the box, Soundcore gives you this huge collection of tips and wings. And this isn't just a nice bonus, it's actually a non-negotiable part of the design. Because the a20s made a major trade-off right from the start. To get this small, and make them this comfortable of the size, they completely skipped active noise cancellation. This means that all of your noise blocking comes from getting a perfectly physical seal in your ear. And let's be clear, even with a perfect seal, the passive noise blocking here is nowhere near the performance of proper active noise canceling headphones. It is most effective against high-frequency sounds like crickets or a hiss, but it is weak against low-frequency sounds like traffic rumble, or more importantly, the deep parts of snoring. So for anyone buying this specifically to deal with a snoring partner, it is a very big consideration to know upfront. These will not perform if you're trying to block out someone snoring. But that brings us to the first and most important question. Can you actually sleep with them? For me, the answer is a pretty solid yes. I'm a side sleeper, and after trying a few of the different fit combinations, I got up to a point where I could wear them all night without that painful pressure you get from something like Earbuds. And after a year of nightly use, I can say that the comfort, it pretty much held up. The soft silicone hasn't degraded, and they feel just as good as they did on day one. Now, it's not going to be a magic bullet for 100% of people. If you have very sensitive ears or a super firm pillow, you might still feel them, but for most, this is a massive upgrade in comfort over traditional earbuds, especially if you take the time to actually test out the different ear tips that they provided. Okay, so the comfort is clearly top-notch, but at a price of $179, they need to do more than just feel good, right? And that brings us to the sound, which is the part of the review that will really determine if this is a smart buy or a pass for you. Because the audio performance here is a tale of two completely different products. So on one hand, you have sleep mode. This is where you play audio files stored directly on the earbuds themselves, which will let you turn off your phone's Bluetooth and give you that headline class-leading 14-hour battery life. But the audio quality in this mode, it's terrible. It's bad. The preloaded sounds are encoded in mono, not even stereo. So the result is thin, tiny, unnatural sound that feels like it's coming from the middle of your head instead of all around you. For me, it was so distracting that it actually made it harder to fall asleep, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. But then there's the a20 saving grace, which is Bluetooth mode. And you can just use these as regular pair of Bluetooth headphones. You can stream anything you want. Like for me, sometimes I would just listen to a podcast or even put up like a really boring show, a boring podcast, and just like, there's something about just like someone yapping and someone talking that makes me fall asleep for some reason. And using them like that, the experience is night and day. The audio is full, it's stereo, the quality is surprisingly fantastic for a sleeping earbud. It's way better than it has to be, and honestly, better than some mainstream earbuds even that I've tested. So for listening to podcasts, audiobooks, or playlists to fall asleep, it is a huge plus. But this creates a fundamental conflict. The product's two best features, its incredible battery life and its good audio quality, they are mutually exclusive. You have to choose every night. Do you want the best sound or do you want the longest battery? Now, Soundcore tried to solve this with a software, and this is where I was genuinely excited actually. They built in a sleep tracking feature, and I was hoping it would provide some really cool insights, which it supposedly does. The idea is it uses an internal motion sensor, an accelerometer, to track your sleep stages and position. But it's just not accurate at all. Because it only has a motion sensor, it has a critical flaw. It frequently mistakes any period of stillness, like reading in bed, as actual sleep, which leads to wildly overestimated sleep times. It doesn't have that heart rate or other sensors needed to track REM sleep either, or provide any medically useful data. And this is the most important and the most disappointing part of this long-term review, I guess. In a year since these launched, this has not improved. There have been no major software updates to fix the tracking or just the sleep insights. And the reason this failure is so important is because it breaks the one feature meant to solve the audio versus battery problem, which is the smart switch. So the smart switch, that's a feature which is supposed to detect when you fall asleep. And automatically it changes from Bluetooth, aka like listening to your podcast or your shows, to the battery saving mode, which where it's gonna play just like white noise. But since the sleep detection relies on is pretty much a gimmick, the smart switch itself, it's equally unreliable. So even after a year, that core conflict, it remains unresolved. So after all of that, here's my long-term breakdown, right? The good, the bad, and the final verdict. On the good side, the comfort for side sleepers, exceptional. The soft silicone build is a game changer and it holds up over time. The battery life in sleep mode, 14 hours, it's an eternity. And I can tell you, after a year of nightly charge cycles, the battery is still fantastic. The Bluetooth audio, the versatility of streaming high-quality stereo audio from any app on your phone, it's a single best feature. And the price point, while it's not budget at all at $179, it is significantly more affordable than premium competitors that can cost over $300, making this a compelling mid-range option. Now, on the bad side, there's no active noise cancellation. The reliance on a passive seal means it's inherently weak at blocking low-frequency sounds like traffic and deep snoring, which is a major flaw, a big caveat for many potential buyers, especially the ones who are trying to buy this because their partner snores. Now, the built-in sounds, they are genuinely poor quality, they're teeny, they're mono, they're unnatural. And the smart features, even after a year, the sleep tracking remains inaccurate and as a result breaks the key feature, which is the smart switch control. The on-bud controls, they're also finicky and a bit frustrating to use. I know it's sounding a little bit negative, but the key thing here is I've actually kept them. And the biggest question is like, knowing all that, who is this actually for? I think the Soundcore Sleep a20 is an excellent choice for a very specific person. The value-conscious streamer. This is someone who wants a comfortable earbud for sleeping, but finds the high-end options too expensive. They plan to completely ignore the built-in sounds and stream their own podcasts, music, or content, or even white noise from their phone. That person has to be willing to accept the 10-hour battery life of Bluetooth mode because let's be honest, that's still more than enough for a full night of sleep. And if you're an active noise cancellation purist, if you need that feature, look elsewhere. These are not for you. If you want accurate sleep data, look elsewhere. This is not for you. Get a dedicated wearable instead. So here's the final verdict. The Soundcore Sleep a20, it is a masterclass in smart compromise. By ditching active noise cancelling, they nailed comfort and battery. But that choice created a cascade of other issues, most notably the poor built-in audio. But they gave us an incredible escape hatch with excellent Bluetooth streaming. It's not a perfect product, but it is a clever and highly effective tool if you know how to use it. For the right person, this is an easy recommendation, even a year later.